Hey guys, welcome to another episode. And over here, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about VPN. But I'm not going to be talking about either the audit part of a VPN or the technology behind or what's tunneling or how encryption works. If you want to learn more about encryption, I have another video. You can click on the link somewhere in this video to go over there if you want to learn more about encryption. But over here, I want to address a few things on what VPN is and why companies are using it and what it allows you to do. One of the biggest misconceptions that I've seen, probably more for companies who are selling VPN products to advertise, is that they're saying that it will help protect the privacy of your information, especially when you are having, for example, your bank account open online and on the internet. It will help protect those information. Now, in the era that we're living right now with all the COVID-19, a lot of people working from home and all these things, definitely a lot of people are thinking about privacy. A lot of people are putting VPNs and all of those things. But does a VPN actually protect your privacy? Well, that's the biggest thing that I want to address in this video. And the plain answer is no. It will not help to protect your privacy at all. You're gonna be as good as without VPN than with VPN. So I'm a drawing person. I see things by drawing it. So let me jump over here into my whiteboard and let me write down a few things over here. So I'm gonna go over here through a few scenarios that are, let's say, critical, riskier, dangerous, that your information can be exploited. More than exploited, it can be exposed to the public, or someone can look at your information. So you're over here and you're browsing the internet on your computer or your laptop over there. And one of the things that you could have over there is a virus. Now, I'm not gonna go into the details if it could be a virus, a malware, a bug. There's so many things. We're gonna call all of these things a virus. So a virus, it could be something that is reading what you're typing, your keystrokes. It could be something that is implanted on your computer and it is extracting all the information that you have. It could be multiple things. Now, how the virus works. Let's say it captures the information from your computer, and usually it sends that information to a remote server. That's the malicious person server, where this malicious person, I don't know if I can draw, I was planning to draw a mask over here. Okay, it didn't work. The malicious person is gonna extract that information, use it, let's say your social security number, username, passwords, anything that they are able to capture. Now, what else you could have over there? You could have, let's say, for example, you are connecting to your bank account. So let's put over here, you connect to your bank account. So this is the connection. Here's the bank. Okay, I'm gonna type a different, well, I'm gonna change the color. This red color is really hard to read. Okay, so you have this, right? So you have your bank account. This is the bank, the building bank, sort of. So you go to your bank account online, right? And then what could happen is that someone over here in the middle of the line or the transmission could see what's happening over there, right? Could see over here and can basically extract. It's the same thing as, for example, there are two people talking in the same room, and someone is passing by and put their ear on their, basically on the door. They're gonna be able to hear everything. Same thing is over here. Eavesdrop, I think it's called. So you're able to basically listen that conversation, what's happening over here, able to get your bank information. Now, probably if you already know a few of the things on the technology behind, you will say, well, that's not possible. Let's go with that right now. What happens if you connect now to, let's say, your corporate office? You're working from home. You're connecting to your corporate office and you're moving files, right? Because you have a file server over there. Well, same thing. If someone goes over here and tap into this line, they're gonna be able to see what your files are. Those are the most typical ones that how your information can be accessed. Of course, the most typical one is a spam email, where you get an email saying, hey, you need to log into your bank account, you logging into that bank account and it's actually a fake. Well, there's nothing in the world that can prevent from doing that rather than you looking at the email that you're receiving and making sure it's from your bank account. So it doesn't matter if you have an antivirus, if you have a firewall, if you have VPN, it doesn't matter, all of those things. You click on that website and you put your information, it's up to you on those things. So that's why I'm not covering those areas over here. Now, let's take a look. I'm not gonna use red because that's terrible. Let's use blue. Yeah, blue looks good. So what VPN is, how VPN works. So how VPN works, it creates what it's called a tunneling. So you're gonna have over here, let's say you do a VPN not with your company. Let's say you do a VPN with an outside service provider. Let's call it the VPN service, where they tell you, hey, connect to this server in the US or in anywhere in the world. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna create this tunnel. So we're gonna put it, it's basically a tunnel. And anything that is inside this tunnel is going to be encrypted, which means that anything that travels over here, so if you go to your bank account, if you go to your file server, if you visit any website, everything that goes over here is going to be encrypted. So if someone like this person tries to look at the traffic, they're gonna see this tunnel and everything inside is gonna be encrypted. So at some point, yes, it's going to help you. So someone looking at the internet, not necessarily your cable, but looking at the internet by itself, or there's many options. I'm not gonna go in how you can look at that information. If you're connected to the Wi-Fi, it's the most easiest one. Anyone can have access to a Wi-Fi, even though it's secured. You can see what's happening in the air because the Wi-Fi is just transmission of information over the air. But anyways, anyone can look at that, but if you have a VPN, now you're protected. But here's the other thing. Why the case of the bank is a very rare situation that someone is able to look at it? Because a bank most likely is using an HTTPS. And I put it that way because that's how you may recognize when you look at a website. Some websites have an HTTP, some other ones have an HTTPS. The difference with the S at the end means secure, which means that they created already almost like a tunnel, but only for the bank. So this yellow line is already encrypted from point to point if you're using HTTPS. So if it's already encrypted, there's no reason why using a tunneling because it's already encrypted. Now, which are locations that you find that? For example, if you use Gmail, Gmail is encrypted. If you go to your bank account, any bank should be encrypted. That's almost by law. If you go to other sites, for example, Google, I believe is encrypted too. But there are other sites that may not be encrypted. Facebook is encrypted. Instagram is encrypted. So there's now more services that are going into encryption because it provides more security rather than HTTP. But you still have sites where you have HTTP. Now, if you're visiting a site that is HTTP and you're putting your bank information, your password and username, well, someone like this one can look at it and VPN could actually help you with that. So rather than looking for all the sites that you're visiting, VPN can help you and saying, okay, you don't care if it's HTTPS or not, you have VPN. So in that scenario, VPN could help you. But as you can see, most of the sites already are HTTPS, and I'm usually very conscious whenever I put my information to make sure that it's HTTPS, but that's just me. Other people, sometimes they don't look at it. Now, what happens if you access the files from your company? Well, if your company is using, let's say, for example, FTP, and is not using SFTP, the SFTP is the secure version, which is also encrypted, that means you're gonna have the same issue as the HTTP and HTTPS. So make sure you use this one rather than that one. Now, if you're using a VPN service, well, it doesn't matter too much. But here is the biggest part. of using a VPN service. You don't know where this server is. So how the server works is that it encrypts everything over here until this point, and from here it goes back to the internet. And let's say you're visiting your bank account, and from there it goes to your bank. So this connection, we don't know if it's encrypted or not. This connection, let's say, is encrypted if it's a bank. So now you're gonna have an issue over here. And then the biggest issue, and I'm gonna put it with red because I think it's the biggest one, although red looks really ugly in this contrast. The biggest issue is gonna be there. You don't know who have access to that server. You don't know if the people is able to unencrypt this one and is selling that information. That server is outside of your resources. You don't know what's happening over there. Like, the best case scenario, they're doing everything as they're supposed to and they're working correctly. But what happens if they're not and they're encrypting everything and they're selling your information to other parties? I mean, like, nowadays everything is about information. So now that's what I recommend over here. If you're gonna be using VPN, don't use a VPN service. Put a VPN over here on your corporate. So it's your corporate VPN. So you have control over what's encrypted. And most likely, if you're working from home, you're dealing with your company's files and you want to make sure all those files are totally encrypted. So for that scenario, I do recommend to have a VPN server that should be from your own company. Don't hire these services if you're thinking about privacy. Now, if you're doing other scenarios where you want to mask your IP address, where you are coming from, the traffic or anything, you can do those services. But don't think that those services are gonna be helping you to protect your information. Last thing, we talk about virus. VPN is not gonna help you with virus. What it's gonna do is going to create a tunnel. It's gonna create a tunnel over here with the virus information. At the end of the day, the server is gonna receive the information that is extracting with the virus. So definitely it's not gonna help you with any virus or anything. The only thing that the VPN is gonna help you is for sites like this one that are not secure, these ones that are not secure. Those are the only places that a VPN could help you. With that, let me know if you have any questions. I know a lot of people are working from home. One of the biggest questions that I had recently is that, hey, they're using video conferencing tools, for example, Zoom. I don't know if you heard about Zoom. Huge company over there. I use that on my company. We use them a lot in many other companies that I've seen it. I think because of the virus and all those things, they open their program to be free to educational purposes or something like that. Anyways, if you look at them, they use HTTPS and they also use other encryption methods. So someone who's able, think about it like a regular phone, right? Someone could tap, like cut your cables and tap into the cables and can listen to your conversation in the regular landline type of scenario, not on your cell phones, right? So on the typical landline, it's almost the same as Zoom. Someone can tap on the internet and I've dropped all of that information. So Zoom already have that implemented. You know that it's gonna be encrypted end to end. And of course, at some point, you're gonna trust what they're doing because all of that is going to their servers. Now, you don't know if in their servers they're encrypting and taking your information and selling it. So I'm gonna go ahead, but I'm not gonna explain. What you should be looking over here is what it's called a SOC report. Why it's not working here? Okay, anyways. What you should be looking is a SOC report. SOC report is basically, let me just check a few things over here. A SOC report is basically a report that is issued by a third-party auditor, usually. This third party basically look for certain controls. It could be, there's a few ones. So let me put over here. There's a SOC 1 report. Usually it's used for financial statements. It goes through some IT controls. It goes through some financial statement controls. What you should be looking over here is actually a SOC 2 report. A SOC 2 report is more on security. So depending on what SOC 2 report they decided to do, most of the cases what I've seen, it covers confidentiality, availability, and integrity. Now it could cover a few other things over there. So that's basically what a SOC report is. SOC means Service Organization Controls Report. That's where basically you should be looking at. I don't know if Zoom have a SOC to report, but definitely that's something I will potentially be looking for if I'm concerned about especially the confidentiality of my information that is going through their servers. I want to make sure that their servers are secure, that their lines are secure, all of that is confidential, all of that is private. So with that, I will end this video. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying all this content that I'm putting over there. Put any comments if you like it, if you don't like this video, if there's any areas that I forgot to explain, or there's any acronyms that I just throw it out there because sometimes I use them so often that I forgot to explain what they are. Like for example, the SOC, I almost forgot to explain what they are. And definitely, yeah, let me know if you have like any questions. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will be glad and definitely eager to hear more about you and what you're doing, either in your business or what you're doing in your audit, or basically what you're up to. I'm very curious and want to learn more about everyone who's listening to me. With that, I hope you have a great day or night, depending on what time you're looking at this video, and we'll see you on my next video.